Hello everyone, Warrior Dude 128 here, about to attempt a reading of a free verse poem I wrote. It is titled, Straight White Male. Enjoy. I am a straight white male. I have heterosexual tendencies and both of my parents were of European descent. I do not hate myself because of who or what I am. Some people on the internet would tell me that I am privileged. I would rebut that statement by saying that they are as well. Having the ability to tell someone something on the other side of the world is a privilege. Too many people take the internet for granted, and these individuals are a good example. You might not think having an internet connection is a privilege, but it is. There are many places in the world where there is no internet at all, and if there is, it is reserved for those who can afford such things. As the world becomes more connected and less isolated, that could and should change. In this day and age, having the internet is something you truly need. Even those who cannot afford a computer still use internet cafes. If only they would save up the money from going to those places to get a computer. Then they could use the internet as much as they want with no time limit. Even if the only thing they do all day is call anyone and anything a faggot or slut. That is what they want to do, and may or may not be criticized for such behavior. Saying a man loves another man or a woman likes to have many sexual partners is not an insult. All it is who they are and what they do, and they should not be thought of less. As a heterosexual, I do not hate those who are homosexual. When a man kisses another man, I do not get disgusted from seeing that. All I think of is how those are two men who will give me more chances in finding love. If the homosexual lovers decide to prove their love and want to get married, I say let them. The rules for how marriage works has been set in stone for so long. Bending them slightly so that more people can benefit from them is a good thing. A divorce between homosexual partners would also be entertaining to watch, if only because such a thing has probably never come up for them before. Even if it turns out that two women I like happen to really like each other, they should completely give in to their desires and let the world know about it. There is so much hate in the world today that love like that can only make the world better. They can decide to record a video showing how much they love each other if they want. If they upload the resulting video to a website clearly for adults, that is acceptable. If I watch the video, there is a likely chance I will get aroused from below the belt. If I do get aroused, one of my hands might wander down there to keep me going. If I learn one of the women in the video is actually bisexual, then I will accept it, because I know for an actual fact that a bisexual is not a mythological creature. A bisexual is a person who has a love for either sex and often has to hide it. Instead of wanting to do anyone at any time, I have a better idea of how it works. Imagine, if you will, a hallway with someone in the middle with two doors. At one end, the door reads man, and at the other end, the door reads woman. As a bisexual, the person has the option to go through either door. Some of them pick one door and decide to never go back and try the other one. Others visit one door and decide after a while to try the other door to see what it's like. In cases like this, the bisexual might convince someone from one door to visit the other with them. The color of the bisexual skin has no factor whatsoever on who they like. Even though I am white, I do not think less of someone with a different skin tone from mine. They might be lighter or darker than I am, and I have no problem with that. I have a very good chance of being attracted to a woman who does not share my skin tone. I could also be attracted to a woman who does share my skin tone as well. Most of the time, what color someone's skin is makes no difference to me. The only time it really matters is when I talk about someone I don't know the name of. I do not have the mentality of the lives of people with one skin color mattering. Instead, I have the belief that all people with every skin color matter equally. Using epithets to call each other names based on someone's skin color is not good. Using epithets to call each other names based on someone's sexual orientation is not good. Using epithets to call each other names based on someone's mental health is not good. When talking to people online, using epithets does not make you any better than them. All it does is show how insecure you are because you have to use those hateful words. Epithets should not be confused with criticism, which is something else entirely. When someone criticizes another person's work, it is usually because they liked it. Other times they criticize someone's work because there are so many things wrong with it. Either way, the criticism is about the work itself and not about the person who made it. The only way it would ever get personal is if the person who made the work makes it so. Attacking a critic who criticized the video game you made instantly makes it personal. If the critic did not like your game, it could be because they did not understand it. It could also be because the game has so many problems they cannot help but not like it. I am someone who likes to play video games, and that is not out of the ordinary. Unlike some people, I have no definition for the term true gamer. The only definition of a gamer for me is someone who plays video games. It might be for 5 minutes, it might be for an hour or more, but they still play them. Likewise, a woman who tells me she is a gamer has the right to do so. If she does indeed play games and proves it by listing some, then she is a gamer. If someone plays a game on their mobile phone, then they are a gamer. If someone plays a board game on a computer screen, they are a gamer. If someone plays a virtual pinball game that they play on a console, they are a gamer. When I play a video game, I do not need the option to play as a man or a woman. Some video game stories require that a man or woman be the main character. Others have the main character as a man or woman just because the developers wanted to. When I have the option, I like to play as a woman sometimes. If I can change her skin color to not white, I will probably do so, because the character is not me anyway, and I might as well go all out. I do not choose her because I want to make her take her clothes off and ogle at her. It is because I want to be proud that I made the woman character do amazing things. If I can make her wear clothes that let me see more of her skin, then fine. I would only do that kind of thing when I am not in the middle of a fight. If I did, the fight would be over very quickly, with me most likely losing. I enjoy both games that are for older audiences and for all ages. All ages does not mean the game is only for the very young or very old. It means the game can be enjoyed by the very young, the very old, and anyone in between. I do not need to be represented exactly in the games that I play. The characters in the games I play are not real and should be treated as such. Even if a feminist decries what the character is wearing because they don't like it. The word feminism has now completely lost most of its original meaning. When women on the internet use it, it is usually to belittle men, saying that the patriarchy is why there is a supposed wage gap between men and women. If any woman were to look at the statistics of each job instead of jobs in general, she would see that they each get paid roughly the same amount. The man might be paid slightly more, but it is not because of a gap. It is because the man demanded a pay raise and most likely got it. A woman is less likely to ask for a raise because she is afraid of losing her job. Confident women who go out of their way to get what they want are still rare today. It is not patriarchy keeping them there, but their own insecurity. They think the patriarchy is keeping them down when it is actually benefiting them. It makes me wonder if a matriarchy would benefit men more than women. The word feminism was supposed to mean women would be treated the same as men. The good news is that things have gotten better for women in the Western world. The bad news is that by doing so, they have made women's lives more valuable than men. The only thing that has changed is which gender is being oppressed. That was not what feminism was supposed to do at all. The only way men and women would be treated equally is if the following happened. If a man were to hit a woman, and the woman were to say he hit her, that would be equal. If instead she were to say that he hit a woman, then that would not be equal. That would be the woman saying she values a woman's life over a man's. If you believe that the scenario I created was to promote violence against women, you are wrong. Nobody should get hurt for any reason, even if the facts they provide are opinions. A fact and an opinion should not be confused for the other. A fact is truth, while an opinion is what the person thinks of something. A fact has cold, hard evidence backing up the statement, while an opinion has none. An opinion might be based on the things the person has lived through or heard. An opinion can be fact if what they say gets backed up by actual evidence. It is not other people's opinions that are the same as the original person. When someone thinks that is what counts as a fact, they want social justice. I have no time for social justice whenever I go somewhere online. I am too busy thinking about the actual injustices of the world. If the warriors of social justice made a difference in the real world, that would be great. If they decide to sit behind a screen and tell others how things should be, they deserve to be mocked. Nothing ever gets achieved by stating your opinion on some internet forum. All it is words you typed and posted, and nothing more. If warriors of social justice became warriors of actual justice, things would be amazing. They could try creating a mob of people who do good things and help their environment, especially if they went out of their way to help those in need. Those in need include people who do not have food, shelter, or the internet. Animals that are in rescue shelters could find good homes. But the warriors of social justice will never do any of these things. Instead, they will sit behind a computer screen and complain about another thing that offends them. If you get offended by something, then that is your right to be offended. If you continue to look at the thing you deem offensive, then you are deliberately offending yourself. If I were you, I would not look at the offending thing and look at something I like. But of course, you just have to keep looking at what offends you and complain about it. Because to you, that is the only thing that you feel makes you stand out from others, even though there are plenty of other offended people doing the exact same thing. If you stopped being offended and started liking things, then you would stand out, because when you start to like things, you might find like-minded individuals. This is the way friendships can be made, and I think you should try it sometime. The other person might even have the same fetish that you do. A fetish does not have to be something that arouses you, but it oftentimes is. A fetish can be for various body parts, certain places, colors, and intangible things. A fetish can also be for an inanimate object or objects which you hold dear. A fetish is an absolute love for something and should not be a thing that makes you triggered. When people say that something makes them triggered, they mean they don't like it. If someone actually gets triggered, it means that they tense up and have flashbacks. The flashbacks are to a time in their lives they would rather not remember. Remembering the event hurts them deep inside and makes them pause. If being triggered does not make you have flashbacks, then it is not a trigger. It is just a petty excuse to tell the internet you hate something. If you hate me, it is because I have offended you in some way. If you tell me I have offended you, then it is your right to be offended. If you tell me why I have offended you, I might change if I agree with you. Be warned that if I do not agree, I am not obligated to change because of you. Be sure that you are not offended only for the sake of being offended. If you have a problem with my sexual orientation, my skin color, or my gender, then you have no right to tell me I should change how I am. I was born this way, and I did not choose to be who I am. So if you do not mind, and even if you do, I will continue to be exactly what I am. I am a straight, white male. That was my free verse poem titled Straight White Male. Before I go, I would like to make some call-outs to some YouTubers who I would like to see do a reading of this poem, if they want. We have The Amazing Atheist, Alpha Omega Sin, Undoomed, Sargon of Akkad, Thunderfoot, Jim Sterling, Shoe on Ahead, Armored Skeptic, Liana Kersner, Chris Ray Gunn, Maddox, and anyone else who likes the poem. You don't have to be straight, white, or male to read the poem, so long as you like what's in it. The only condition is that you acknowledge that I was the one who wrote it. If you want my real name, so you can read the poem in real life for any reason, please message me and I will tell you what it is. If you want to read the poem for yourself, there will probably be a link in the description below, right down there. Hashtag straight white male. That's it for now. This is Warrior Dude 128, signing out.